Okay, let's see how we go. I think I'm connected and live. Make sure everything's working. Got an echo. Okay. Let's see if I can see if people are joining. Not sure if anyone's there. How do I see that? Hello everyone, sorry. Hello Tina, thank you. I can't see on my screen if there's anyone watching, so I can only see when comments pop up. So great to see you. Thank you for joining me for my first live. Very excited, somewhat nervous, of course. It's a very different thing, you know, doing the double lives with Naomi because you've got someone to banter off, but sitting here talking to myself seems a little bit silly. My husband, though, has been very excited for me to start doing lives because he thinks I talk to myself when I craft, and he also does some sort of craft. He sits on the other side of my desk, and he says I talk to myself and make funny remarks all the time. So he thinks this is going to be quite funny, but we'll see how we go. So I'm excited tonight. I thought I would do a couple of tags. For those who follow my social media pages, which is under Gold Moon Creates, you'll know that I am low-key obsessed with tags, which is really ironic because when I first started art journaling and mixed media art, I never saw the point to them, but now I'm very much obsessed. But I'm excited because this weekend, the fabulous Natalie has a fantastic sale on her branded stamps. So what you should do, if you haven't already joined the Facebook group community, Natalie May Scrapbooking Creative Community, get on there. All of us share our creations on there, inspire each other, support each other, come up with new ideas and techniques, and it's a really lovely community to be a part of. So I've pulled out all my Nat stamps. She's got a fantastic range, and these rubber stamps are really, really versatile. I use them for everything: card making, tags, art journaling. I use the entire image. I use them as mark making. Really, really versatile. So tonight I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with some of these on a couple of tags. I don't necessarily have a plan. I have a vague, rough idea of what I want to do. Hello, Karen. Yes, hi, Naomi. I do have a few. Must remember to look up and read those comments. Hey, you have this. Thanks, Tina. And hi, Sharon. Welcome. So yeah, the stamps are on sale. So make sure you jump onto Nat's website and have a look. And grab them while they're there at a bargain price. So I'm going to work on tags tonight. Natalie May has just got in more of the Art by Marlene tags. These are a really great size tag. I really enjoy working on them because you've got a wider space to work on. And I thought I'd start by showing you a comparison. So this is a standard size Natalie May scrapbooking tag. So these are sort of the standard size tags you get in most brands. But as you can see the difference between the Art by Marlene ones, they are a lot wider. So you've got a bigger area to work on. And I think that's great because it means you can use Nat's beautiful collage papers, for example, on these as well. I was going to keep with the October spooky theme. So these are some tags that I did recently using Natalie May's cuttables. These are Salem's Children, I believe, or Salem's Kids, something like that. And given that we've got Halloween coming up, I thought I would give another spooky plan a go. Hello, Annette, and hello, Mel. Nat has also recently released, I'm dropping things now, a range of spooky, creepy Halloween products, which I just absolutely loved, being a horror girl at heart. So she's got a range of cuttables, including these. These are just magnificent. They look like they've come out of some sort of old English Victorian horror show, right? These beautiful portraits of these beautiful women, and there's a random tag that found its way in there. And then she's got sort of the background collage photo pieces. So this one, I believe, it's something called Deathly Elixir, I think. And there's also a Magic Potions one as well, which I'm going to use. It's off to the side here. these ones, so like ravens' feathers and things like that. So we're going to have a bit of fun with some spooky horror things. Alrighty, move some of this stuff out of the way. There is a lot of fussy cutting with these pieces though. As you can see, I've not gone to the effort to go right up to all these beautiful embellishments, but I'm going to do something to the edge just to make it pop out. Or I might even decide to come up and just cut all these very thin embellishments off, but we'll see how we go. Yes, those chandeliers would be a nightmare to cut. I don't really know what I plan to do with them yet. I might probably blend them into a background, I suspect. But I'm going to start with one of Nat's collage papers in her sort of spooky Halloween release. This one is called, I think this one is called Twilight Forest or something Forest. As you can see, I've already used a portion of it for another project, but I'm just going to use this first to start off a bit of a background. And I'm going to start with some gel medium. How is everybody this evening? It's a Saturday night, so I wasn't sure. Most people have plans on a Saturday night, right? But I thought I won't do it tomorrow night because that's grand final footy night for those of us who follow the footy. So the matte medium that I use, I actually use the Liquitex brand. It is quite expensive though, so I tend to only use it for Nat's beautiful collage papers, and for everything else I use one of the thicker, cheaper mediums. But I really do love this stuff because it works really, really beautifully with Nat's collage papers. So I really struggled with collage papers when I first started using them. My first thing was around fear, which seems silly, doesn't it? You're talking about paper and paint, and I was fearful that, you know, as soon as I touched it or cut it or glued it down, that, you know, I wasn't going to do the artwork justice, especially on Nat's, because hers are really, really beautiful and you feel like, oh, do I need to do anything with them? But with Naomi's encouragement and some lessons, she got me to be more confident and comfortable with using them. If I was using a focal piece, I wouldn't have just glued it down the way that I have. I would have cut it out, and I would have made a little bit more effort to be a bit diligent with my process. But because I'm using this as a background, I'm just going to come through and snip off the edges when we give that a moment to dry. NRL isn't footy. You must be an AFL fan, Tina, then. Yes, it is. Naomi and I are NRL girls, so those are fighting words, Tina. So while that is wet, I'm just going to put it to the side and we'll start on a background for the next tag. So I'm going to use primarily Nat stamps to make this background. I'm just going to move these tags out of the way. But what I want to do first is just get a little bit of paint down. Now, because I'm using really, really dark focal pieces and images, I don't want to go too dark with my background. So what I'm going to do, excuse me while I just find my paint, I'm going to use Dina Wakley's Mineral, which is a really nice soft grey colour. And then I don't know about anybody else, but picking colours hard for you guys as well as it is for me. Sometimes it's the most challenging. And I'm going to use Dina Wakley's Aloe as well. So I want a nice soft neutral tone background because I'm going to come in heavy with darker colours over the top. Dina Wakley is my personal preference of paint. However, I think I mentioned once before, Naomi did convert me. I do now like Art by Marlene's as well. However, I still do prefer Dina Wakley's. What I love about the two sets, though, is the fact that there's such different combinations of colours. Like, they're not just the same colours with different brands. So getting both sets gives you a wider range of colours. Oh, Karen, picking the colour is the easiest part for you. Well, I must say, I'm absolutely jealous. So I'm just going to use a brayer instead of a paintbrush, and I'm just going to roll my paint on. It gives you less control over where the paint goes, but I really like the effect it's given. So I didn't use a lot of paint, and I'm starting with the Aloe colour. And I just bring that up to make sure you can see. It gives it a really nice sort of texture and some interesting texture. It's not just one flat colour in the background. So now I'm going to go over the top of that. I'm not going to clean my brayer off in between. Whoops, that spurted out a bit too much. Because these two colours side by side are not going to make any sort of mud for me. But I also wouldn't mind a bit of brown on here either, considering the colours that I'm going to be choosing to go with later on. So as you can see, it's really uneven on the brayer. And I'm just going to come in and go over the top, but I'm going to try and aim for sort of those white gaps that I missed the first time around. NRL is the best game ever. Go the Panthers. Well, look, Karen, I don't think I can say go the Panthers in this house without being lynch mobbed by part of my family. I'm really in two minds about the upcoming grand final because I really don't want the Panthers, what would it be, their third back-to-back win? And but I really don't like Storm either. So, you know, I'm in that rock and a hard place between who I actually want to win. So because I have some excess paint here on my glass palette, I've always got some tags on hand. And now that I say that, they're not easy to find. I'll just go back to that one. I don't want to waste the paint, so I'm just going to do a second background. So I'm not wasting that paint. Oh, you're actually an Eels fan, but living in Penrith. Well, you have to go for Penrith then, right? That's going to be like the rule. Wipe up some of this paint. So one of the things I think I really love about tag books, making tags, again, the versatility. We've got Christmas coming up, where we beautiful homemade tags. We just make presents under the tree pop, right? Naomi always does beautiful Christmas tags. I'm always very jealous of her tags that she comes up with at Christmas time. But I tend to turn my tags into tag books. So here is my little collection that I've got going from when I first started and how I've progressed on. So I thought I'd show you some of these as well. You can do tag books in lots and lots of different ways. You can have a ribbon. You don't have to have a ribbon. I've recently posted a video on my YouTube, if you've never made a tag book before and you're new to them, on how to construct them or how I construct mine and put mine together. So you can jump onto my Gold Moon's YouTube channel and have a look at them. You can see they're all different sizes. I've even made little design booklets into little, I suppose you'd call them design books instead of a tag book. And then at Natalie May's retreat last year, we did a tag book with Tammy Porter. And I love how she added these beautiful little tabs on the side. So again, lots of versatility with tags. And of course, you can use them for their intended use and put them on people's gifts, can't you? Footy, politicians, religion shouldn't be discussed with friends. Oh, Tina, I could not agree with you more, right? Could not agree with you more. Just, it's that area. We've got a, so I'm a Raiders supporter, and so is Naomi. But I've got lots of friends who live all over Australia, and we all go for different teams. So we've got a standing bet. We've had it for about the last 5 or 6 years, I want to say, actually. And whenever our teams face each other, the loser has to change their Facebook picture to the other team's logo. I'm proud to say that the Dragons and the Sharks have had to change theirs more than I have. But the Sharkies still beat us out most years. Excuse me. All right. So now I want to do a bit of a purple background. I'm going to see how we go with 3 tags. I don't want to keep you guys all night on this beautiful evening. All right, so back with Dina's paint, I'm using Iris, and I'm going to come in with Blackberry as well. This time I am going to put them on with a brush, but I'm not going to be real purposeful. Well, I say purposeful. I'm not going to be real precise, sorry, I should say, with the coverage, because a lot of this is going to get covered up, right? When we start adding some of those elements. Oh, and I'm coming off screen a bit. Sorry, guys. Just excuse me if that happens. Put a bit in there with that dark blackberry colour. What I love about these paints, when I first started, and I sort of got my first set of Dina Wakley paints, I was like, my God, that bottle is so small. I'm going to go through it in no time. And, you know, they're not expensive, but if I'm going through that much, they're not exactly cheap either. And I've not replaced one paint colour. I've been doing this for, I want to say 2-3 years. Naomi might be able to help with that. Hey, Jackie, thanks for joining. And yeah, I have not replaced one colour yet, and I use them a lot, especially my purples, blues and greens. Yeah, Naomi. Actually, I've just broken the rule with our bet with my friends and the footy teams. Lots of people commenting on it, freaking out, you know, because everyone knows I'm a Raiders supporter. Like, oh my God, have you changed teams? What are you doing? And I'm not allowed to tell them that I've lost a bet. So I've probably just broken the rule. Luckily, I don't think any of them are watching this, so that's okay. What they don't know won't hurt them, right? Hi, Wendy. My dad felt really bad because actually one year I did do a bet with a friend who's a massive Paul Gallen fan from the Sharks. And I had to put this horrible post up about how much I love Paul Gallen. And my father felt so bad that he jumped on and commented for me. So they knew that I wasn't defecting teams. So I'm just back to my original tag where I put the collage paper on. And I'm going to come around now that it's mostly dry. It's a little bit damp in the middle still. And I'm going to cut off the excess. I'm not going to throw it away though, because even though it's not one big piece anymore, it's still going to be good for other tags. And in fact, we might even use it on one of the other tags. So we can definitely still use elements of this. I'm a bit of a hoarder. I've got bits and bobs of papers all over the place. I'm sure most of you are the same. Hi, Wendy. Thank you for joining. So I'll just pop them to the side. Hopefully I don't lose them. So there's the start of our tags for this evening. As you can see, quite a bit of a variety. And what I want to do is, that's pretty dry. I think I might start with some stenciling on this one. Pop that to the side. Pop those two to the side. Alright, and we don't want the purple from out either. Excellent. Okay, so this is one of my Natalie May scrapbooking stencil folders. These are really great. They are the perfect size to hold your Natalie May stencils. I got this one from, it's the A5 size, and I got it from Officeworks, I believe. So let's have a quick squeeze and see what I'm going to do. You can see that I am not a stencil cleaner like Naomi. Sorry, Naomi. You're probably going to be cringing looking at some of these. Do like Vicky's flowers. When I first started, I did religiously clean my stencils, but if it's just acrylic paint, as you can see here, this is acrylic paint, I don't tend to wipe or clean them off anymore. If I'm using any kind of paste or glaze or texture paste or modelling paste or any kind of thick medium that dries hard, I will definitely clean them off, because they can absolutely ruin your stencils if you don't clean those things off straight away. And I'm looking for one more, but I have a feeling it's in stencil folder number 2. Click through. Yeah, there it is. Excellent. And I love the size of Nat's stencils as well. You can get lots of beautiful stencils, but some of the bigger ones, they actually make it harder to work with as well. So I really enjoy the size of Nat's, and obviously the vast range that she has as well is really, really good. Okay, so I'm not going to add any more paint at this point, but I want to add some darker elements to the background. So I'm going to come in over the top. I know that my cuttables have quite a bit of purple in them, so I'm actually going to start using some Distress Oxide and start doing a few layers up with the Distress Oxide. These are really great, really handy little size, and I do have the metal storage tin to keep them in. But if you collected the entire set of colours, I think I work out you need like 4 or 5, or 5 or 6 of the tins. I've only got 2 going at the moment, so I don't have all of the colours, but I do love the ones I've got. And I've kind of got, you know, the basics of each set of colours. I've just got one of these blending brushes, and what I've done is they're all a different colour. So I just pull a couple of them out. So I've assigned, you know, I only use the blue with the blue one, the purple with the purple one. That made sense in my head. So I don't have to worry about cleaning them off as often. And you're probably thinking, yeah, she's not a cleaner. Alright, so I'm just going to put a bit of this in the background in that darker colour, and I've kind of flipped the stencil just so there's like that, kind of looks like an 80s geometric pattern couch. I'm sure my mum had a couch like that when I was growing up. Yes, I think she did. I just replaced yellow and sky. Now I've got the, oh, yep. Yeah, there you go. See, so Naomi's talking about the paint colours. She's only just replaced 2, and she got hers back in 2021, and I guarantee you she's used more than I have as well. So they go the absolute distance. So I'm going to put that stencil to the side, and now I'm going to come in with a lighter colour. And because I am going a lighter colour, I'm just brushing my blending brush off to the side. So I found these, I think I got these from Kmart. They're makeup remover pads, and I've got a set of 6, and I keep them next to my paint water, and I dry my brushes on them. I do this with my blending tools, and then I rewash them. I found that I was going through a lot of paper towel, and I started to feel a little bit guilty about, you know, sustainability in using that much paper towel. So I have reverted over to these rewashable makeup pads. So I'm certainly not going through as much. I still use paper towel, it's still necessary, but I'm certainly not going through as much as I was before. Card numbers. I'll go down here. So there's a bit of an unwritten rule with any kind of art journaling, mixed media. It's sort of the rule of 3. So you always sort of have that triangular effect to draw the eyes. I find that trickier with tags just because of the surface area that you've got is not as large. But you know, that's why I've sort of overlapped as well. Not only does it create a little bit more interest, but it keeps the eye interested in what's going on the page. Oh, thanks, Karen. Yeah, I've certainly noticed a massive decrease in my wastage of materials since moving to the reusable makeup or washable makeup pads. Awesome. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'll bring it up a bit closer so you can see. I really like the Distress Oxides. They give like a nice chalky effect compared to the inks, which are a little bit more less chalky. Is that a word? I don't know. Is that a description? Alright, I'm just going to pop these 2 stencils back in the drawer. And let's have a look at the next tag where we're up to. Oh, I've just dropped things everywhere. Well done. Okay. So what I wanted to do, I have this piece here that I cut out earlier today. I really love it, but I'm not sure if it's too overpowering for a single tag on its own. So my plan was to put it on this purple one here after doing some stamping, and then use some of the smaller focal images to build up a few layers. So we're going to see how that goes together. Hi, Michelle. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Doing a bit of some spooky Halloween-y tags. Is everyone excited for Halloween? Oh, does anyone celebrate it? I know when I was growing up, it was not a thing, right? But since my kids have started growing up, there's like Halloween houses everywhere and people out in droves. So curious to see if you guys have felt that as well in your areas. Oh, that's okay, Naomi. That just means I win as Link Ninja, right? All right, so these are Salem's Children. I love them. I mean, they're creepy. Look at her. She's creepy. Look at those eyes. It's fabulous. I think I like her for my forest, maybe. And the second set that has the more orange elements to it, like this one, she reminds me of like a paper doll from the 70s, 80s. She's not creepy. She's a bit sweet, but the black and yellow, orange, right? They pop out as the creepiness. But this first set, the darker set, I think I probably prefer them personally. And these look like little dolls out of, you know, books I read, Golden Circle books maybe as a child. They're very sweet. All right, so we're going to do some stamping on this dark purple. And what I'm going to give a go, I'm going to come over to smaller Nat's stamps. So as you can see, most of Nat's stamps are quite well loved and well used by me, especially this one. I use this one the most. It is her text stamp and it's called Won't Let You Down. And it's probably my most used mark making stamp. Buds of May would be my favourite of her bigger set. For those new to Nat's stamps and products and haven't seen them before, it's important to note they don't actually come like this already cut out. They come on one big rubber sheet and you need to cut them out yourselves. Nat does have a video on how to do that. I was very nervous when I got my first set and I didn't want to cut them. And so they sat here, not being used, not being touched, until eventually I thought to myself, how silly. So, you know, I watched the video, bit the bullet and started cutting out. My main tip is the closer you get to the actual stamped image itself, bring this up, I hope that's not too shiny in your eyes. The closer you get, the less chance you're going to get, you know, the background stamp bits that come out sometimes if you press too hard. Actually, I've got an example here. I think I did it the other day. Yeah, here you go. So this is Buds of May. And you can see here I've accidentally got some ink on the gap between. It's absolutely fine because I plan to fussy cut these out, so it's not a problem that that's happened. But if you were stamping directly onto a background or a journal page, that may not be the effect that you're looking for. So the better you can cut them, the closer you can cut them, the better. I did have thoughts that I wanted to maybe cut up in here, but I did chicken out, as you can see. So I've left them solid, and I'll just try to be careful when I'm stamping. Hi, Sharon. Oh, Halloween is my Emily's birthday. Oh, Kerry, that's fantastic. She can have all sorts of cool birthday parties. Karen is not a Halloween fan. That's okay. Not everyone has to be. Oh, hi, Wendy. I ordered a few Nat stamps yesterday. Oh, I'm so glad. You won't regret it. They are really, really, really fantastic. This set, Naomi, you might need to help me with the name of this one. I think it's called Just Be Kind. And it's a colour wheel. And it's got some really great sayings on it. So obviously the big one there says just be kind. This one says be the energy you want to attract. Work hard and be nice. I'm reading backwards here, so I'm quite impressed I'm nailing this. Out of limitation comes creativity. And life is art. Live your life in colour. Really great sentiments. I actually haven't used any of these sentiments yet, but I've used this one a few times. And what I want to do, look, I know that Naomi did a live on Thursday using this particular stamp, and I got to tell you, she is a hard act to follow. But I'm going to show you a slightly different technique. So when I'm looking at this one, and I'm thinking of my spooky Halloweenness, I actually see more of a cobweb. So I don't want a clean, crisp stamp. I want something a little bit more grungy, something a little bit dirtier. Michelle loves Halloween. Creepy is your middle name. That's fantastic. Oh, thanks, Jackie. Just be kind is right. Excellent. Carrie, kids should have bought your Spooky Girls for me to fussy cut Tegan. I know. I keep thinking, every time I sit down, Carrie, to fussy cut something, I think, why did I do this to myself? So we've got quite a dark background, and as I said, I want to go a little bit more grungy. So what I'm actually going to do, instead of using an archival ink or a permanent kind of ink, I'm actually going to come in with my Neocolor 2s. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with these. These are water-soluble wax pastels, I think, sort of like waxy crayons. I love them. They are my go-to for colouring any stamped images and then fussy cutting them out. You can use them like watercolour. You can put them directly onto a page and then come over the top with a water pen. For those unfamiliar, this is a water pen, so paintbrush, sorry. So it's just got a paintbrush tip, but you open it up and fill it with water. And it's great for watercolours and well, any sort of distress material really. But what I'm going to do today is we're going to use them on our stamp. You could also use a Stabilo or pencil, I suppose, as well. So I'm going to come in first with a bit of a black. So I'm just going to grab it and I'm just going to go on my stencil like this. I'm not being too careful. I don't want a perfect image, but I do want enough of the crayon on here. Oops. So when I spray it with water, it sort of reacts. There we go. Give that a go. Where's my spray bottle? Give it a spritz. So I'm not sure if you can see, but see how the pigment's all moved along the stamp? I haven't put a lot on there. I'm only looking for a really sort of subtle, grungy background using it, but let's give it a go in this top corner. I might have actually put too much water. Oh, Rachel, you've been loving the Salem Girls. They're fantastic, aren't they? Oh, it didn't work as well as I wanted to. I actually thought Nat's Halloween cuttables from last year were my favourite. She brought out a range called Cute But Dead. I really, really loved them, but I think she's outdone herself with the creep factor this year. So I didn't actually get enough. So this time I'm actually pressing a little bit harder, and I think it's because normally I do this on a lighter background or a white background, so I don't normally have to press as hard. So you can see I've got a little bit more pigment, and I'm just going to wipe that section. Sorry about that. Something's popping up on my iPad. Whoops. Try and get rid of it. There we go. Yes, Nat does sell the Dina Wakely Scribble Sticks. I've actually got a couple in front of me. I probably should have used them instead. Yeah, same effect. Oh, there we go. Don't want too much water. I'm just going to pick a bit of that up. All right, give this another go. So I'm actually glad that it didn't work so well the first time, because there we go, that's a better impression. So it's bubbled a bit at the top there, but I don't mind. As I said, I'm not looking for a perfect stamped image. I'm going for grungy, mucky, a little bit more spiderwebby. But as I was saying, yeah, it's all trial and error, right? So it's fantastic to sit down and watch people who have been doing this for years, who are precision artists, but I've probably learnt more making mistakes and doing things wrong than I have from watching people, you know. So don't be afraid to use and have a go at your materials like I was initially. Give it a go. I mean, what's the worst? It's a piece of paper that really you can cover up at the end of the day. All right, so now we're going to go, I don't know how well purple's going to go here, and I might actually just switch to my scribble sticks because the colours are darker. So these are the scribble sticks. Absolutely, Karen, yep. You're on top of it. These are the scribble sticks. So very similar product. And actually, I will say I bought the Neocolor 2s before the scribble sticks came out. And the scribble sticks are a much, much nicer price point. So if you are interested in these kinds of crayons, go the scribble sticks would be my advice, and Nat does sell them. So this is a dark purple. It's called Blackberry. So we'll see how it goes. Just get some on here. Might not have used this one before. I really did and ah about buying the scribble sticks. I'm really glad I did. You can use them in the same way. Often I'll just get my paint pen, drop a bit of water out of it, and pick up the paint. You can see the tip. Well, hopefully you can see the tip of my water pen there. It's gone all purple. And then you can just come straight in. Look at that beautiful colour. It's just gorgeous. And it's a really great way to add dimension shadowing detail, and as I said before, to paint your stamped images. Alright, so let's give this a go. Love these stamps. I find it easier to do things like this with the rubber stamps than I do with the clear, are they called clear cling stamps? I find these ones are more hardier. They don't big press. And as you can see, I'm not using an acrylic block again because I'm not concerned about that clear image. We're looking for grunge. We're not looking for a colour wheel, we're looking for spider webbiness. That section, oh, that works pretty well. Look at that. I am happy with that. Alright, wet wipe. Give it a wipe off. And look at that. See, they're easier to clean too. The cling stamps, I don't know, they're not as easy to clean. Especially if you're using them with acrylic paint or something like that. I tend to find I have to get a wet paintbrush to clean them off. But these beautiful rubber stamps, too easy. Makes life easy. Alright, so this is one of the second sets. So there are 3 sets. Actually, there are 4 sets. There are 3 of these bigger size sets. And then there are the smaller neon scribble sticks. I don't think they've got a name. There's a code on there. But I've got both sets. And I love the range of colours actually in these. And they're a deeper pigmented colour as well. So I might go in with some of this one. Oh, if I can get her out. This one is a fuchsia. It's not coming out very well on my stand. There we go. So do we have any new people? I know Naomi mentioned on Thursday that we've got quite a few new members to the page. So if there's any new members online tonight and you'd want to ask a question, please just pop it in the chat and either myself or one of the old guard of the Natalie May community can answer it for you. Put it in there like that. Alright, that could be good. A bit more of a spritz. Some of the water spray bottles don't work very well. I find it very frustrating. They tend to, you have to be holding them upright, and I like to spray it at a bit of an angle. I might have put too much water again. Good job, Tegan. That's alright. We can handle that. Alright, I'm really happy with that. Just really subtle, but really, really grungy. Just going to... Right, I'm going to hit the stamp again. Just to a bit more pigment on. I'm going to come back into this top corner. I've got a bit of a gap. There. There we go. Let's see how well that's showing on camera. The old guard. Absolutely the old guard. So really happy with that. I'm going to put that to the side because I don't want it dripping all over the place, and I want to let that really dry before I go in with my next layer for it. So let's pop these away. As much as I love the sayings that come with this stamp, I don't think upbeat positive quotes are going to work with the freaky tone of my girls, so I think we'll leave them to the side. Okay. I tell you what, one thing that happens when you're doing this is you make a big mess. Normally I'd put things away, but you don't need to be waiting while I'm doing that. Alright, so I've just realised I've left a bit of a white trim up the top, but that's okay. Most of my tags have some kind of border, whether I do an edging with some archival ink on the very edges or I do some sort of border, so I'm not going to let that worry me too much. But I really like her. Look how creepy. She's even more creepy with a dark, creepy forest behind her. My goodness, this girl. My goodness. Alright, what do we want to do with her? We want to get some background happening. So, I'm going to come into using another one of Nat's stamps. Oh, this one is called... I think I wrote this one down before. Is this one won't let you down? No. No, this one is don't overthink it. The irony in that statement. That's right, because this one also has the matching stencil, which is one of my favourite stencils as well, the Don't Overthink It. So I'm going to come in and use this one. This time I am going to use some archival ink. My well loved. Now I did recharge this the other day. I didn't know that you could do that. I thought I was going to have to buy a new ink pad each time. But if you weren't aware, you can actually reload your ink pad. So this is the Jet Blank Re-Inker. And you just squiggle a little bit on the top and then use, I've actually got an old Medicare card, I think, that I've been using to push it in so it covers the entire top of your ink pad. So that is always really good. Already got a really cool creepy background, but let's give it a little bit more interest. Kerry has I have Don't Overthink It on a t-shirt. I need one of them, Kerry, because that is like my life's biggest problem, right? Overthinking. What are we going to do here? All right, we're going to do a bit of a top corner. Come down the side a little bit. And what I think could be really cool, because this is quite a dark background. It's a good mantra for life, isn't it? Don't overthink it. One of the first things I ever heard Nat say, which really inspired me, was, it's just paper and paint, don't worry about it. Like, it's not the end of the world. But you can get caught up in your own head, right? You can really, really get caught up in your own head. For me, it's a bit of that imposter syndrome all of the time. Not just with art, but in work life and personal life. It's an ongoing battle, right? Hello, Daphne. Oh, did you try to say hello or help? That could go either way. But welcome. If you need help, please shout out and let us know. But thanks for joining tonight. So, bring that up a bit closer. It's a really subtle effect because the collage paper is quite detailed and quite dark. Now what I want to do is use some paint on my acrylic stand and bring a bit of a contrast. So I've got my black of the pattern, and now I'm going to come in with Lace by Art by Marlene. And I'm going to squirt a little bit out on my glass mat. A lot of other creators use those paper palettes or have special lids. I bought this glass mat for a reason, and it's so I could throw my paint down wherever I wanted to, right? And not have to worry about it. You can already probably tell the difference between me and Naomi, right? All right, so paintbrush, and I'm just going to spread it over my stamp like this. I'm saying I'm trying to only get the raised bits, but you can see I've absolutely made a dog's meal out of that. But it's not too bad. I'm just looking for a little bit of a contrast. I want to add some white back into this, but I don't want to add a new pattern because it's already quite busy in itself. So using the same stamp, and I'm just going to hit some of those gaps with a little bit of white. Again, I'm not using an acrylic block because I'm not looking for a flat pristine image. I want a little bit of texture. I want a little bit of grunge. I might just add a little bit more paint. So put out enough. Naomi puts hers straight on hers but cleans it straight away. Of course you do. I mean, how easy are the glass mats to clean off though, right? Baby wipe, you're done. Although I suppose that's where having a palette's probably more sustainable, right? Because you're not going through baby wipes to keep it clean. But then you use a paper. It's kind of like you can't win, right? A little bit more down there. A little bit more over here. And I think up here. Awesome. I'm really happy with that. So you can see the white stamp. You can see the black stamp with the archival ink in the background. And the trees are still quite visible. So I'm really happy with that one. I'm going to pop that to the side. But now I do have a stamp that is full of paint. That's not ideal. If acrylic paint dries in your stamp, you can ruin your stamp because it'll dry hard and you won't be able to get the stamped image. So the first thing I do, I mean, this baby wipe, it's pretty well used, right? I wipe off the top surface with the baby wipe. I get as much as I can off in that way. Then I go back to my paintbrush in the water. Maybe some cleaner water. Bit of water on my paintbrush, and I'm just going to get in between to try and lift up some of that acrylic paint off. Over we go, because we don't want it drying in those gaps. Probably come with my fingernail there. A bit more water. Down we go. And again, I do this with my cling stamps too, but the rubber stamps, they're easier to clean when you're using them for such mess with such messy mediums. These rubber stamps are just better, I think, in my personal opinion. Karen, my very first scrapbooking teacher 20 years ago said, don't overthink it, just stick the bastard down. I love that. I love that. Michelle keeps throwing us up. Yes. Oh, Karen, I was very anxious about acrylic paint on stamps too, to start with. I practiced on some really cheap stamps, right? Because when I first started, I didn't buy the good products, straight off the bat. Because what if it's one of those hobbies that, we've all had those hobbies, you try and you don't stick to it because it turns out it's not really your thing. Yeah, we've all done that, right? This paintbrush isn't working so well, and I think it's because it's a flat one. I do normally do this with a round brush, so let's give this one a go because I can get in there a bit better. There we go. And get in. But yeah, if you're a bit nervous, Karen, give it a go with a cheapie from like a $2 shop, and you'll see that it's actually really good. And it's really nice to get those different effects. I mean, archival inks come in all sorts of colours now, right? So you could get those different colours in archival inks, but having the paint is it's a different impression. It stamps different, it looks different. So if we bring the tag back, look at the difference between the black. I'm hoping that you can see the difference in the video. The difference between the ink and the paint. The paint's got texture. It's got, it's moved. It's not stayed stagnant on the stamp, and it's given it, even though it's the exact same image, they look different. So I really do like that effect. Be brave. Whack the bastard on, right? Oh, excuse me, I shouldn't be saying that. Tegan, naughty. The one thing I said to my mum today was, I hope I don't swear I'm alive, and I've already broken that twice now. Massive difference. Yeah, there is a difference. It doesn't, you don't think there would be, but there actually is. Cool. All right. I'm happy with how clean that one is. And let me think, where are we up to with tags? I know I have another one over here somewhere. Here we go. There she is. Okay. So, no, I still think I like that one with the darker background. Yeah, I think I want the darker background for that. All right, so I'll just put some of my stamps away. There we go. Here's my other one drying. It's still a little bit wet. All righty. So I want to add some words now. I love books. I'm a massive book reader, and I often use words, literature, or text in all of the work and art that I do. I get secondhand books from Vinnie's and stuff. So this is just one. I think I used this in the live I did with Naomi last time. Oh, Molly. Hi, Nonna. So Molly has just joined. Molly is my stepmom. Thanks for joining. She's telling me off for swearing. I've been busted, guys. So I love using book paper in the backgrounds of a lot of my art. And initially I hated it, actually, because I love books, and doing exactly what I've just done there, ripping a book to shreds, was like, that's a big no-no. I don't like people who dog tag ear their books to see where they're up to. That just grinds my gears. I can't handle it, and I twitch. But now here I am ripping up books for my art. But I really love, they just give something to the background, and it could be just personal for me because I love reading, and that could be the reason I use it so often. But you'll probably find in most of my posts, in most of my art, I have some kind of book page going in. All right, so I'm not going to use my Liquitex for this one. I'm just going to use, I've got Chromacryl Gel Medium here. It is a lot thicker than the Liquitex one. The Liquitex one is very runny, which is perfect for all of Nat's collage papers because it sits with them. When I first started using this, I was using way too much. So you don't need a lot. It feels like you do, but you don't. Now, remembering that I've used Distress Oxide here, so I'm going to get some movement as I put the gel medium over the top. I'm okay with that. If you don't want that kind of movement, stick this down first before you put the Distress Oxide over the top, or don't use Distress Oxide. Do it last. I'm okay with a bit of the movement. The reason I didn't put the book pages down before I put this stamping on it is because I didn't want to cover them up too much. They're going to be covered up enough when I add some stamping and my focal images. And what I'm achieving with adding them over the top is some grunginess to that Distress Oxide, so it's been some movement on the page, and now it doesn't look so prim and perfect because that's the effect that I'm going for, but also because I wanted to add a little bit more white back into this tag because I covered up all of the white. A lot of people add white back to their pages through splattering at the end, which I'm not adverse to. I love a good splatter, but I don't do it all of the time. Just get some rubbish out of the way. Whoop. Now I'm dropping water all over the place. There we go. Okay. So I'm pretty happy with those backgrounds. I do just want to add a little bit of stamping to this, but it is a little bit wet, so excuse your ears for a moment. I'm just going to give it a quick hit with the heat gun. Sorry about your ears there. Pretty happy with how dry that is. All right, just clean off my brush. You have to really clean your brush as well after using any kind of glue, but especially gel medium. Otherwise, if you don't, it can destroy your bristles. Alrighty. Now I want to put some more words. I've already got some words, but I want to put some more words down here. So I'm actually going to use Nat's. This one's called the Blah 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 stamp set. I really love this one. Not just because, you know, it's funny, blah, blah, blah. I love the Not Today. Hell no. WTF. What the actual? Are you freaking kidding me? That's one of my favourite sayings. I say that a lot. But what I really love is look at the beautiful lettering and all the different lettering in the one space. It goes on really beautifully to a page. So we're going to do some layering. And I think we're going to pick the Blah 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 instead of the original art. I will use an acrylic block for this one. But it doesn't fit all the way, but that's okay because I'm not looking for, again, that perfect print. Ink it up with some archival. And what I'm going to do is layer it. So I'm not looking for one print. I'm actually going to put it down and then continue down like a ladder. Now the ink is going to run out, so it's going to get faded as I go down the side. So at the top it's nice and dark, but as we come all the way down, I've moved in, so I'm creating a visual triangle, but it's also started to fade off as well, so it's not as prominent. I'm going to do a similar thing on the other side, but this time I'm going to start from the bottom and ladder up. And I'm also going to use the opposite side of the stamp. So it's not the exact same lettering on words on both sides. And again, that just gives it a bit of an inference. Being my life at the moment. Is that the "are you freaking kidding me" Tina? I used to work at a workplace where I'm sure that was my daily go-to saying, "You have got to be kidding me." How has that happened again? Okay, so you can see I framed the tag by doing that, and it's just given that real interesting visual up the side. I've got a bit of book paper hanging over. It's not really bothering me. Hopefully it's not bothering any of you. I know that sometimes it's interesting when you're watching other people create with things that don't bother them but would bother you. Like an example is using staples, right? I know there are some people who are just dead against using staples. They won't do it. They don't like it. That's absolutely fine. But I love using staples, and I know that Claire loves using staples. And I think it does annoy some people. Just don't watch that bit, all right? You'll be fine. It's okay. It's just paper and paint, right? And some staples. Oh, Tina. Alrighty. So we've created 3 backgrounds. And I think they look really different, but I think they look really fantastic. And in a relatively short amount of time, right? This is probably one of my other favourite things about tags is they don't take up as much time. So if you're limited on time, like I am sometimes after work, between the kids and the housework and everything else we've got to do, there's not always the time to do what we want to do. So tags means that I can still get in a little bit of art in my day. And something I have found art journaling and mixed media is it's been really a massive benefit for my mental health, right? I'm probably sure there are others out there who feel the same way, but having this mindful moment, if I don't have it for a couple of days, I really, really do start to miss it. And I start to see the impact that it's had for me in a very beneficial way. Always your work, so your... Oh, well, that's true, Tina. It is your work, so it's how you want things to be, right? Alrighty, so I'm not sure we want to put the background here for our creepy girl. I think I'm actually happy to not add too much more to that, but just do some finishing touches. So I'm definitely going to put her on there and find some kind of creepy quote. You can see my stamp has come through on my pad. Now I've got blah, blah, blah in the background. Fantastic. Alright, how are we going with this dude? I like that. I do like that. I feel like we could maybe add some text to this background as well. So I'm going to go to my go-to. My very well loved, and as you can see, very well used, Nat May stamp. This one is called Won't Let You Down. A trick Naomi taught me early on. When you're using this one, just put a bit of ink and test it somewhere to make sure that the writing is the right way up. I have a few times accidentally put the writing upside down. All right, so you can probably tell from the stamp, but I tend to just go for this middle section. I've never put this on an acrylic block. That's why the paper is still on the back. And I just whack it down like this. And I'll just come into this side. Oh, thank you, Tina. I actually don't even know how long I've been going for. Oh my goodness, basically an hour. Naomi is right. I thought that hour would, I was thinking to myself, how am I going to fill an hour? But that has absolutely flown by. My goodness. All right, I love the text that's on there. There's no white in this page, so I am going to add some splatters to that, and I'm still in 2 minds about this. I think what I need to do is come in and fussy cut. So, I'm sorry, guys. We're going to get rid of all these, are they vines? I suppose they look like vines, don't they? So, and I'm not... Kerry, look away. You're going to hate this. You're going to hate it, hate it, hate it. I'm not being careful. I'm not worried about potential detail loss. Kerry, don't look. She'll never forgive me for this. It's a background, Kerry. It's okay. We don't need that detail. I remember watching Marlene do a live once, and she was doing some fussy cutting of some stamped flowers. Oh, she's super fast, but got all the detail in there, right? But one thing she did teach me with fussy cutting, especially if you want to do it fast, like I'm doing here, and you're not stressing about losing hair. Hair is the main one, right? Those chandeliers give me nightmares, but stamped hair and trying to cut out somebody's hair. That's a nightmare for me. But Marlene said, instead of trying to move the scissors, you move the paper. And I must admit, since doing that, it has been a lot easier to get my fussy cutting done. I want that white bit. Trim that off a bit. Karen sucks at fussy cutting. I'm sorry, Karen. I told you, don't look, don't look. Karen, I'm right there with you. It is not... I don't find it cathartic. I absolutely love that Kerry finds it cathartic and mindful, because what a wonderful... And I will admit, sometimes I have stamped a lot of things out. I've got some, you know, fiddly bits to cut, and I have just sat there, popped a movie on, and I have quite enjoyed that. But if I'm already in the middle of a project, like I am tonight, I don't love it. It's not my favourite thing to have to stop and do. And Kerry, but this is not the focal image, all right, darling? This is just the background piece. And so I'm not too bothered by what that's going to look like. I feel really bad. Poor Kerry. Oh, keep the scroll. No, the scroll is going. We don't have time for scrolls. There we go. All right. So, as you can see, that is not pristine fussy cutting at all. I've still got some little white chunks. I have been known to use a craft knife and get in there with the detail to do fussy cutting out like that, but I'm not doing that tonight. You guys do not need to sit here and watch me do that. I am, however, just going to get some black archival ink, and I'm going to come around the edges. I want to hide what a terrible job I did of that, so no one knows unless they watched this. It'll be our little secret, ladies, okay? And I love looking at journal pages that I've previously done, or any kind of art that I've previously done where I made a massive mistake. I remember when I was trying to be brave and learning how to draw faces. I painted this face. Oh, I drew the face and I painted it out, and I was actually pretty proud of it. And I painted it with acrylic paint, but I got impatient, right? So I grabbed out the heat gun and started drawing her, but I got too close and the paint started to bubble. Absolutely ruined the whole picture, right? I was really upset. What did I do? It only happened on her neck. So I grabbed some, I think, Art by Marlene die cuts, whacked them over the neck where I had burnt her, and nobody knows. And every time I look at it, it is my little secret. I'm the only one that knows. Now you all know, but that's okay. All right, we're going to add some splatters to this one. I'm pretty happy with the background of that one and that one. Okay, let's get some more white paint out. Tina, what scissors do you love? Oh, yeah. Tina's dangerous with a craft knife. Yeah, I've cut myself a few times, Tina. It's not pleasant. Kerry says, oh, thanks, Tina. You're sure I'm good at many things. As soon as I get my pages from that, you fussy cut them all out. I have been trying to do that. As you can see, all my Salem girls, I think this is what I did one night watching a TV show. All my Salem's children, they're all cut out. I've got a little tub of those. My favourite scissors to use for fussy cutting are these ones. They're the Uniquely Creative ones. Yes, they are. It's right there on the side. I got these from that. I used to just use, you're going to laugh at this now, Kerry. These are some old medical scissors that my mother-in-law gave me. That's how I started. Now they just cut things with glue on them. And these are my preference for fussy cutting. What I really love about them is the size of the handles compared to the size of the blade. So lots of room for my big chunky fingers, but really precision, smallness in the top. My favourite scissors for fussy cutting. All right, what was I doing? I was going to do some splatters. So Naomi got me onto this paintbrush. This is the Crafter's Choice paintbrush. Nat May has just started selling these. Really love this. The splatters, you can control them better, and there's more of them, right? I'm using the size 2. Naomi, I think you use a smaller size than me. Oh, Jackie, they're your favourite scissors too? Yeah, they're so good, right? So, to do my splatters tonight, I've just come back in with my Art by Marlene lace. I'm going to add a little bit of water because we don't want thickness. I'm using my Crafter's Choice fan brush, And we're just going to tap, and look at that. Just instant. I'm going to add quite a bit because I want this. There we go. Oh, look at that pop. It just changes it immediately, right? It's like watching magicals change with the water. Nice dark background. We've got some interest with our grungy stamping and our scribble sticks. And then, bam, straight into this pop of white paint. So I'll just pop that aside and let that dry a little bit. I'm debating if I want to add splatters to this, but I don't think I do. Or if I do, I don't want them white. So what I might do is just pop a bit of iris in there. It's the white paint I've already got out on my glass mat. And a little spritz. She is an enabler, Karen. She's the worst. No, she's very, very talented and very inspirational, but she's an enabler too. Oh. You know what she does? This is what I've always seen. Naomi goes and tries all the products and then tells us which are the best ones to buy, right? So I'm kind of grateful for that because then I don't have to go and try all the products to find the best ones. I just wait till Naomi does. I would never use you like that, Naomi. I take it all back. All right, so I've added a bit of iris, so it did not pop as much, but I didn't want it to either. I wanted this one to be a little bit more of a subtle splatter. And I'll just wipe that off. And I will grab that wet wipe and wipe this paint up. Because, done with that now. You live to give. You certainly do, Naomi. That is an understatement, actually. You do more than that. All right, pop this one over here as well. And bring back in our creepy girl. And I think I want to use one of these. Oh, I love that crow. Love that crow. Hemlock root. There's also another set. I think they're like potion bottles. Yeah. Although I think assorted eyeballs. Oh, that's fantastic. Actually, I know what I want to do. Here we go. Look at this. I love this castle. I love this. All right. Some more fussy cutting. Fair warning, Kerry. Oh, that's pretty cool too. With it's like a clock tower. Oh, I like the castle better. All right. I want to use the castle. I don't really want. Is that a plate of pancakes? It looks like it might be a plate of pancakes there. Could be. So I'm just going to trim around that to start with. And pop that to the side. I can always use that later. And I'm thinking of having a bit of a background castle for her. Yes. All right. Look away, Carrie. You're not going to love this. I'm not going to get so close here because I actually don't want to lose the detail of the castle. But I am doing a quick fussy cut too. Let it smoke. Do I want to keep the smoke in? Leave to give. So I'm very excited for Natalie May's retreat next year. How many of you lovely ladies online with me tonight are going to be there? I went to my very first one this year and I had an absolutely amazing time. The 4 days just flew by. Naomi and I came down for the 4 days, but it just, I don't know where it went. It just disappeared like that. But I had such a great time meeting everyone, crafting along. It was just such a beautiful atmosphere. So if you haven't been before, I'm not sure if it's sold out. Naomi might be able to tell us quickly. She might know off the top of her head. But if you've missed out on this year, look at it for next year. Look at it for the year after, because I'm an introverted person. I don't do well in social settings, especially where I don't know many people or I don't know anyone. I kind of stick to myself, but the entire community that was there were welcoming, were warm. If you were a bit more introverted and you didn't want to hang out and do all the talking, nobody cared. You weren't judged. You weren't it wasn't a problem. You were there to do your thing in your way, and everybody else did their thing in their way. No judgment. It was just, you know, I'm 39 years old, and it was probably the first time I've ever been to an event where I felt completely okay to be myself. I didn't feel like I had to put on a show or, you know, meet anyone's expectations. So that's what this community is and has done for me. And even the online community, if you can't get to the retreat, the online community, I get the same feeling from that. It's just so supportive. All right, so I'm going to put my spooky castle. So you can see I didn't do a good job of fussy cutting, but my archival ink has totally hidden that fact. Carrie Ann, no comment, please. But when I put her down, there was sort of, I don't know, I feel like there's something missing here. I had some book paper, so I'm going to go with my trusty book paper, and we'll ground her like that. I might move the castle up a bit higher so you can actually see it, and then I'll have some sort of quote come down the side there. Happy with that. Liking it. Spooky. So if any of you start using any of these products, especially do any spooky Halloween challenges, please put it up in the Nat May community. I would really love to see it. The Nat May, I'm going to get this wrong. Naomi will correct me if I do. Natalie May Scrapbooking Creative Community Facebook group. I should know that off by heart, shouldn't I? Oh, Karen, you're giving it another go. Met so many lazy ladies sitting at the table with me, Naomi and Susan. Oh, it was great. We had the best table there, of course, Karen, we did. Oh, Carrie. Oh, you're going for Seth Apter. Yeah, that, I'm not going for Seth Apter. I think Naomi is. I sort of had to make a choice as well, and I decided I prefer to go to the retreat. But I hope you enjoy it. And yeah, introverted. Oh, it did sell out. Yeah. Oh, Tina, you're missing it next year. Hi, Delphina. Sorry I missed you joining. Jackie's going to be there. Fantastic. Can't wait to see everyone. Yeah, Karen, I sort of had to make the choice between Seth or the retreat. Emily, we would love to see you in 2026. We are definitely going to be there. Well, I'll definitely be there. I say that. I'm a young'un, am I? Thanks, Kerry. 63, still young. I think the same age as my mum, or close to. I have it all fussy cutting, but nothing made. Just need to get well. Oh, sorry to hear. Yeah, Tina, I would have loved to have done Seth too, right? But when I really weighed it out, it was sort of between Seth and Claire, and I watch much more Claire than I do Seth, so that was an easy choice for me. All right, I'm going to start doing some sticking because I'm very conscious that I've been going for like an hour and a quarter now. And I might do some of the last details offline and post the pictures later. You can sort of get a sense of my thinking with where I'm going here. So my castle's going down a little bit higher, but my girl's going to hide that gap. So I'm not worried about that. Oh, she's creepy and I love her. I need to give her a name. Does anyone have any good name suggestions for her? Annabelle comes to mind. Or Carrie. All right. Okay, I think I'm going to finish with this tag now, and I can do the details later for you ladies, and I'll post a picture. But as a quick recap, what I'm going to do to finish it, I'm going to use my Stabilo All Pencil. For those who don't know what that is, this is going to be, well, it is for me, one of my most well-used tools. It did start off about this long, and I think this is my second one, actually, second or third. It's a water-soluble pencil. So I'll give you a very quick demonstration. I want to ground her a little bit to this page. At the moment, it looks like she's floating a little bit. And as much as I'm in for abstract, grungy art, I also want a little bit of realism. You know, we don't... Although she's creepy enough, she could be floating with magic powers, spooky evil powers. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a squiggle with my Stabilo All. I'm going to activate my water brush by giving it a squeeze, making it wet. And then I'm just going to come over the top, give that a squiggle. Oh, I rushed that. I probably would have done thinner lines usually, but it's okay. And it just gives a little bit of not a little bit, a lot of movement to the where I put the pencil. And you can, I'm going to come through and do some shading as well. So you can put your pencil underneath, or you can put your water paint brush straight onto the pencil like this. Pick up the colour and then do some shadowing. So you can see the difference there just behind her shoulder compared to, say, under her legs here. Always want to think about your light source though when you're doing this to make sure that your shadowing makes sense. So I will finish that detail up a little bit later off camera. I want to bring back over, bam, this one. Yeah, I think I like that a lot. And you know what? I was going to stick a Salem Creepy Child just off to the side. I think I still will. Ooh, like that. What do we think? Maybe I'll angle that. I spend a long time with my paper elements deciding where they're going to go, how they're going to go, what does this look like, what does that look like. Then I grab my phone out and I take photos of different positions. No, I think I like this contrast better because there's something sweet and innocent about her and something deathly freaky about that, and the combination of innocence and evil, terrifying. Oh, Esmeralda. Oh, that is a great name. Oh, I've missed some comments. I'm so sorry. Here we go, bloody drought. Yeah. Oh, the droughts are awful, Tina. Oh, Esmeralda, Rosemary. Esmeralda's a good name. Do you know what? She's going to be Esmeralda. Let's bring her back. Esmeralda. I think that works perfectly. Perfect. Thank you, ladies. And maybe we'll call this one Rosemary because she's a little bit sweet, all right? All right. Stick this one down. Oh, I'm running out of glue. Carrie. Skull looking down on the girl. Tina, that's a brilliant idea. Brilliant idea. Yeah, Carrie. I'm going to have to do a Carrie tag later. Or maybe I'll do it on that third tag that I've got. All right. I love Tina's idea. Skull looking down. Yes. Thank you, Tina. Bring it up a bit. So I've come off my tag again a little bit, but that's okay. It actually, I kind of do that quite a bit because it draws your eye across the page and then it looks like, oh yes. No, I'm going to move him up if I can. See how I go. See, it's just paint and glue. We can move, we can fix, we can shift. Just wanted it a little bit higher because I didn't want to lose too much of her. There we go, that's better. Excellent. Let's give her a squiggle of glue. Could just be Carrie. I'm looking a bit creepy at the moment. Oh, Carrie, don't be cruel to yourself. Carrie though. Gotta admit that's a bit close. I'm gonna pop her on. And I am happy with that. Oh, look at that. Rosemary and Esmeralda. Perfect. So I'm going to add some shadowing, some final details. I won't do that for you guys tonight. You've probably seen lots and lots of people do it over the years. I do have one more tag, but I'm not sure. Let's have a look. I think I was liking my witchy girl for this one. Yeah, I like her. I don't know if I love that. It's a bit, she's got a lot of red in her. I want to do a red one. Orange and purple. I never would have thought orange and purple go as well as they do together, but they do, right? Oh, I like her too. They're both witchy hat ones. Oh, you know what? I think we found a winner. Oh, yes, I like her. Okay. Yes. Wanda the Witch. I agree with you. It is the best glue ever. So, sorry I did bypass that. This is Art by Marlene's Sticky Multi Glue. I use it all the time. I've been through a number of bottles. You probably saw with Just Then I'm quite liberal with it as well. I don't stingy out on the glue. I have put some of my paper in paint and that's stuck together. That was not very clever of me. The LA Lakers are orange and purple. LA Lakers. Are they? Oh, they're basketball, aren't they? I'm coming to your house to fussy cut your girlies. Well, I don't actually drink coffee, Kerry, but I make a wicked cup of tea. Oh, Gretchen. Ooh, Gretchen. That really suits her. Well done, Sharon. Gretchen. Rosemary, Esmeralda, and Gretchen. Love, love, love it. And what I love is this crow. I want to get to him. So, I'm going to use some big scissors just to make it a bit easier to get to him. Oh, I like the cat too, though. Ooh. No, I said crow. Don't overthink it. Don't second guess it. Follow the first instinct, right? Oh, tea is better. Yeah, I've never enjoyed coffee. It's interesting, though. I love the smell of coffee, but I reckon it's because when I was little, by the time I was about 8, or maybe a little bit older, my dad worked out that I was tall enough to reach the jug. I was making him lots of cups of coffee. So I think I started hating coffee because I resented having to do that for my dad. So, I don't know. I actually, that's not the reason at all. I just think it tastes very bitter to me. But I will say, I do enjoy the smell. I can appreciate the smell of a nice bit of coffee. All right, I want something for the other side. I don't want to introduce new colours here, so I think we're going to go with another skull maybe. Tea is better. I often order a couple with most of my orders. Yeah. I find people tend to be either like prefer one or the other, right? Coffee or tea. It doesn't mean that I don't have caffeine. I am, unfortunately. I do love a can of Coke or a bottle of Coke. So in the mornings, it's so unhealthy, Tegan. I will have a can of Coke and that's what wakes me up. It's so terribly, terribly unhealthy. I'll bring that a bit further down and I think I want something for this top corner, but this time I'm actually going to go back on my word. I think I'm going to add, what are we going to add? Witch's fingernails? I think poison. Let's go with a bit of poison. Oh, why did I choose that? Look at the fussy cutting that I have to do now. Oh my goodness. Tea leaves your mouth dry. Oh, that's interesting, Tina. Yeah, Karen's a tea girl. Sharon prefers hot chocolate any day. Look, regardless whether you are a tea or coffee drinker, I think everyone loves a hot chocolate, right? Especially on a really cold day. Kerry, are you commenting that you need to fussy cut my girls because I've left a big white outline around them? Is that not fussy cutting enough for you? I'm so sorry, my dear. Triggering people left and right with my chaotic, clumsy crafting. All right. What is the time? Oh, goodness me. Okay. Hour and a half. Thank you so much for sticking with me. And thank you all for coming by and supporting me. I know Naomi can talk underwater with a... What is it, Naomi? Underwater with a mouthful of marbles under wet cement or something, your mum says? I was worried I wouldn't be able to, but I think I've done pretty well and bored you all. All right, so that's going to be my rough layout for Gretchen. And here's the other two. So I am going to come in. I'm going to do some finishing touches. I'm obviously going to glue her down. I'm going to pick some quotes. I'm going to do some outlines. And next time maybe I'll just do 2 tags so I don't drag on for you all night. But thank you so much for joining me. I'll post some photos of these when they're finished. Oh, Wendy's loving chai latte. I've never had a chai latte. Your crafties. Oh, Tina, thank you so much. That's so sweet. Thank you, Sharon. I really appreciate it. I've really enjoyed the challenge of being a brand ambassador for Nat. it was a big step for me, but I'm just really so grateful of the community as a whole. We all support each other. I think we are all so fabulously talented and absolutely courageous crafters, and thank you for letting me be part of your community and your journey in your lives. That's it. Can't wait to see you guys next time. And yep, I'll pop up post these soon. Thanks so much all. Night. Oh, thanks Michelle. You're most welcome. Thank you. If you do some, please share them. I would love to see them. Thanks Wendy. Thanks Jackie. Oh Daphne, thank you. Oh, thanks Gary. Good night everyone. See you next time.